Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center along with Matthew Lester. Looking at a whole lot of clouds out there. Probably the big difference is we don't have the precipitation that we had 24 hours ago, but still some foggy conditions. And a little bit earlier this morning, it was slick. Mild temperatures, that has been the word, hovering around just above that freezing mark for a number of hours. Quite frankly, we hit 34 for a high yesterday and really didn't drop down all that much overnight. A few sprinkles again real early this morning. But other than the side roads and some of the sidewalks, less traffic areas, everything was just pretty much just plain old wet. What's going on right now? Well, there's a high pressure system that's over the Tennessee Valley, and eventually it is going to try to clear things out just a little bit. So we do get some sun, and hopefully it'll brighten everybody's day. I don't know, though. It's going to be real spotty, and in some areas it's just going to stay mostly cloudy as we go through the entire day and then into the evening hours as well. Now, some folks will be looking at a few stars out there, but all the way through not only today, but also tonight and over tomorrow, we're going to be running a good 3 to, in some cases, 12 degrees above average. We should be at 30 in the afternoon and 18 at night. We're going to be looking at temperatures of 38 today, not dropping down much below, if at all, the freezing mark tonight. And then temperatures after midnight are going to continue to climb. Matthew, right now, what are we looking at as far as our temperatures?
Well, over at the airport, it's foggy at 35 degrees. Over in Midland, it's cloudy at 36. Here, Radio Center, it's cloudy at 37 degrees. We have southwest winds at 10 miles per hour, and our pressure is at 29.88, and it's rising.
10, maybe 12 miles per hour as far as the winds go. That's going to be about it. Again, as Matthew said, coming out of the southwest. They'll take a little bit more southerly direction from the south tonight, but again, very light when it comes to wind speeds. And as I mentioned, there is going to be a chance of seeing a few stars out there tonight as we are looking for the clouds to thin out. Now, we'll drop down to the freezing mark right around midnight or so, and then that temperature is going to begin to climb. We're going to see a south wind tomorrow. It'll be gusting up to 20 miles per hour, especially as the day goes on. And a little bit later on tomorrow afternoon, there's going to become a pretty good chance of seeing some rain shower activity. Why? Well, we have a low pressure system that will be developing over southern Kansas, the Kansas-Oklahoma border. And that low is going to scoot right up to Wisconsin, right along the Lake Michigan shoreline of southern Wisconsin during the day tomorrow and tomorrow night. So it is going to be a rather fast-moving low-pressure system, but it is going to be gaining intensity as it approaches Michigan. Fortunately for us in this particular case, we're not expecting the heaviest amount of precipitation out of this system. That is going to remain in the Ohio River Valley and the Tennessee Valley, well to the south of us. But still, there is going to be that chance, once again, of seeing moisture levels in some cases up to as much as a half inch. That will be Thursday night and during the day on Friday as that system moves out. Now, depending on how fast it moves, that'll depend on exactly how much moisture we do get. Some folks seem to think that Friday morning, it'll start late Thursday evening, and wrap up sometime during the morning hours on Friday. Others are indicating that it'll taper off, but we'll still have a chance of some precipitation later in the day on Friday. I know on Friday night, though, we are going to be looking at some partly cloudy skies, and the winds on Friday are going to be coming out of the west, and they will be gusty up to right around 30 miles per hour. So that kind of gives you an idea of just how rapidly that system is going to be moving. Saturday, what does that look like? Well, right now it looks as though we're going to have rainy skies, but then it'll turn over into snow a little bit later on in the day on Saturday and Saturday night. Saturday night is going to be a snowy evening. Temperatures about 25, 26 degrees, ideal for generating some snow and some heavy wet snow. So we're just going to have to see how quickly that low moves away and how strong the winds are going to be, because obviously with the low moving away from us to the east, we're going to see more of a west and a northwest and a north breeze, which is what's going to bring those temperatures down and a chance of snow. That chance of snow will continue as we move into the day on Sunday. We'll make it up to 28 for a high on Sunday and 22 for a low on Sunday night. Moving into Monday, we'll be looking at mid to upper 30s for the beginning of the work week next week. But at this stage, we're not looking for anything in the way of moisture to start off the work week next week. Matter of fact, starting about the 12th and running through the 20th, we're going to be looking at our temperatures at or slightly above normal for this time of the year. Precipitation values also at or slightly above as well. How much rain did we get in some areas? Back 40 in Richville, I had 3/4 of an inch. Fairgrove looking at just under 6/10. Pigeon talking about 1/3 of an inch there. Bad Axe right around 4/10. Sandusky a little bit better than 6/10. Lapeer coming in at 7/10. Incidentally, Flint broke a record at Bishop Airport yesterday, 0.73 inches of precipitation. That broke an old record of like a little bit better than a half inch. And that was set several years ago. We didn't break any records here, but still, we're looking at a whole lot more in the way of moisture along and east of the I-75 corridor. Bad Axe, as we said, right around 4/10. Sandusky, a little bit better than 6/10. Lapeer, 7/10. Freeland had a little bit better than 4/10 of an inch. Caucaulin, close to a half inch. Ithaca, 43/100. Mount Pleasant, about a half inch. Lansing had close to 9/10 of an inch of rain. And a number of reporting stations in southern Michigan did report precipitation tallies of more than 8/10 of an inch of rain. Coldest ever, 7th of January. And you got to get a hold of this. I mean, you got to think about it just for a minute. 1942, January the 7th, we didn't hit zero for a high or a low. Our high temperature was 1 below zero. Our low temperature was 9 below zero. Now, the warmest ever, 2008, a little bit closer to current. 59 was our high, 47 was our low. Incidentally, 59 degrees is the record high for this day. The record low is 11 below zero, and that was set back in 2014. Most snow on this date, go back to 1966. For those of you that remember, we had 6 inches of snow on the 7th of January. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Matthew, today standing by, who do we have?
Coming up next, we have Cody Harris from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor. You know, they have enthusiasm for a lot of these tractors, some of these antique machines They understand that you do take a really strong responsibility for some of these, especially if you want to make them work for you. You need parts to keep them running. The other thing is some of these units are a heritage. They're being handed down from generation to generation. And obviously, you want it to look good, you want it to run, and you want to show it off and have some value to it. Well, they understand at Steiner Tractor. That's why they have new parts for those old tractors. So you definitely want to check them out. 800-234-3280. That's the website, steinertractor.com. Get a hold of them, and they'll go to work for you, because if you want it, the chances are really good they have it at Steiner Tractor Parts. We say good morning to Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Cody, good morning. How's it going?
Doing well. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, not too bad, Cody. Looks like we gave up a little bit yesterday afternoon at the close, but we're picking it back up so far this morning. What's going on?
Yeah, you're right on that aspect. Seems like yesterday, kind of towards the end of the trading session, we kind of backed off, but this morning we definitely took off and running. We kind of ate up all those losses across the board. Seems like a little bit of demand news and maybe a little bit of weather issues kind of causing this market to bounce like this here today, but definitely a good sign. I would say soybeans and wheat are definitely the drivers here this morning.
So from what I understand, Cody, South America, they might not have as much product as what they've been saying. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, I would say you're reading that correct here, Terry. I know I've seen that there might be a little back off as far as the Brazilian crop goes. There's still maybe a record crop, but not as big as we were thinking maybe a month or so ago. One thing to maybe keep an eye on, though, is there's still a good, I guess it'd be bearish for our commodities. The weather pattern in Brazil is definitely looking good for those crops down there. But I think from what experts are saying is that it might be backed off a little bit to what we were expecting, but still maybe a big crop. But that's definitely leaking into our markets here as well.
Yeah, and as far as the corn is concerned, I don't know. We just have a whole lot of corn, so it's kind of following suit, it appears, but it's not as strong as what it could be.
Yeah, you're exactly right there, Terry, on that aspect. There's a lot of corn out there. Seems like demand's definitely been solid for corn, which is kind of, but we can kind of kept corn to where it's at right now. But it's definitely, I would say, kind of in the back burner right now, as it just seems like there's this massive crop kind of everywhere.
And as far as you folks are concerned, been able to move the crop?
So far, yes, I would say. I would like to say local demand here has been good. Been able to move corn kind of throughout the winter here. At I would say at normal pace on that end. So really not a lot of changes there. But definitely for our local corn crop here, it's definitely been beneficial.
So at this stage of the game at Star of the West, what do you have on the board?
Yeah, currently right now I have cash wheat up 7, $4.98 on the white, $4.23 on the red. New crop 26 wheat, that's up 5, $5.28 on the white, $4.43 on the red. Look over at cash corn, that's up 2 at $3.96. New crop 26 corn is up 2 at $4.04. Look over at soybeans, cash soybeans are up 10 at $9.96. And new crop soybeans are up 7 at $9.95.
Cody, thank you a lot. You have a great day, okay?
Thank you. You as well.
You bet. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth coming up with Doug Klein. Market Report with Doug, brought to you by the folks at Thumb Bank, working with agriculture since 1895. Remember, farming today has many challenges, and Thumb Bank keeps up with those changes, as well as industry trends and the changes in your operation. Frankenmuth Bank and Trust, 13 locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay area. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Market Report brought to you also today by the folks at Legendary Tree Care. You need some tree trimming? How about tree removal? Well, Legendary Tree Care, they're there to help. Remember, no job is too big, no job is too small. They're fully licensed and insured, and they do specialize in those big projects. Legendary Tree Care, MI.com. That's the website that you need to know, or you can like them on Facebook. We say good morning to Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Doug, how are we looking today?
Well, it's as always interesting. The Dow Jones hit a new high today. The S&P hit a new all-time high today. The jobs report came in a little light, so you'd think that The market would like that because we're going to get an interest rate reduction, but that really didn't pan out. Stock market's, I don't know, kind of mixed. Dow Jones down about 0.25%, S&P up 0.25%, and the NASDAQ up 0.5%. Grains are okay. You'd think that all the mucky-muck in the Venezuelan thing would cause crude oil to go up, but it's not. 56.32 right now, down 1.5%. And precious metals just on their wild thing again, down anywhere from 1 to 7%, depending on which one you're looking at. So it's a give back day for them. Here's your numbers. The March corn is 445 and a quarter, up 1 1/4. September corn 452 and a quarter, up 1 3/4. The March soybeans 1068 and a quarter, up 12. September soybeans 1072, up 8.5. March wheat is 518 and a quarter, up 7 3/4, and September wheat 552 and a quarter, up 5.5. Sugar's trading right at $15 a hundred. That's up 24 cents. Crude oil is 56.29, down 84 cents. Heating oil 205.24, down 3 cents. Gasoline 169.91, down 1/10 of a penny. Natural gas is 291.5, up 8.8 cents. Currencies, the Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3822 Canadian, that's up 8 ticks. The dollar buys 156.65 yen, that's up 3 ticks. The euro's at 116.88, up 1 tick. The dollar's at 98.64, up 6 ticks. Gold is at $44.50, down $32.20. Silver $77.50, down $3.03. Platinum is $22.57, down $177. Copper's at $581.70, down 19.35 cents.
Now that interest rate change, what's the timing on that?
They're saying 2 to 3 of them this year. Just have to wait and see when.
Yeah. Hopefully first quarter.
Yeah, right. Sooner the better.
Got my fingers crossed. Doug, you take care. Have a good day, okay?
All right, thanks.
You bet. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, heavy-duty trucks and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Quality parts, quality service, very competitive prices for well over 45 years. Michigan Truck Spring at 800-358-4751. Buy online, truckspring.com. And don't forget that service area is open till 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. We'll be back, but first this.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning up the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
Friday, bonus pricing has been extended at Rifkin Steel.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They're here to help farmers, lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. And if you know or you are a teacher and you got a classroom idea that you've been dreaming about, now is the chance to make it happen. All you got to do is apply for a Frankenmuth Credit Union Mini Educator Grant of up to $500 to fund classroom projects, creative ideas, and must-have items. Now, you must be a Frankenmuth Credit Union member to apply. And if you want more information on it, just go to the Frankenmuth Credit Union website and ask chatbot Carl about mini educator grants. Now, the deadline for application is January the 15th, so you've got a little bit of time, but if you got that idea, it might be a really good idea to contact the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union and apply for that mini educator grant for up to $500. Your hometown financial solution, the Frankenmuth Credit Union. Along with us, Travis Christian from Nutrien Ag. Travis, good morning and Happy New Year to you.
Good morning. Happy New Year to you also.
We're looking at 2026, and we got our target set. We need better yields this year, don't we?
We absolutely do. And, we obviously know that we can't control the weather. We can't control the price of, what's happening in the market. But we can make a really good plan and execute on that plan. And I can't overemphasize how important it is to have the plan, to sit down and take the time with your Nutrien sales rep to have a plan put together, because Nutrien does an incredible job of making sure we're a reliable supplier. We've got, what we need lined up for our guys that we need to take care of. And anytime we can make a plan, that just gives us even more insight into making sure we have the right product in the right place at the right time, so that the grower can put it in the field at the right place and the right time and the right rate, right?
Right.
So that is critical. And then just executing on the plan once that plan is made. We are here to help, have a full understanding. We have amazing resources available to us for agronomy, for precision agriculture, for equipment, and we can plug you in with whatever the grower needs.
Very good. Travis, thank you so much for sharing. Good to talk to you. We'll talk to you again in a few weeks.
Great
all right?
to talk to you. Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Travis Christian from Nutrien Ag. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. And by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain, your Dairyland Seed headquarters. Serving you is their business, and they're ready to take care of whatever questions you might have. Again, serving you since 1983, Freeland Bean and Grain. Jerry Samolsky joining us right now from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center over in Essexville. And Jerry, what should we be aware of right now?
If you've got a landscape project you're going to do next year, now it's time to start getting ready, Terry. Reason I say that today is I'm looking out my window right now. We just have a truckload of turf fertilizer that got here we're getting ready for next year. We're looking at educating ourselves, and we're looking at doing homework and going over our plant orders. We're getting ready for the spring, and I think the homeowners should do that too. If you know you've got a project, start figuring out what it is you need to do. Call your people, get them online, get them coming, and get ready.
I guess so. I'm ready. I just hope that we don't get too many of these temperature fluctuations. It's starting to mess things up a little bit.
And for us, not so much, Jerry. It goes up and down, and it hasn't gone really high and stayed there for a while. This up and down isn't ideal, but it's not horrible yet. When we get some higher temperatures for long periods of time, and it goes maybe up now, like if this instead of the 40s would go up to the 60s, we might be in trouble. And then it drops down to the teens quickly. That's when we get hurt. But I think we're going to be okay with this fluctuation.
All righty. I'll take your word for it. Sounds good.
Well,
Jerry.
we'll gamble. That's my best guess, but the optimal word is guess.
Roll the dice. Jerry, thanks a lot. You take care, all right?
Yep.
Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Along with us right now, we've got Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. And Craig, we're talking a little bit about the weather again today and talking warmer temperatures. There's a few folks out there that have been a little concerned with water.
Right, Terry. As you mentioned with the weather, these up and down temperatures and the amount of rain we got, I think, was more than we anticipated yesterday. And I was talking with some insurance company folks this morning, and they were curious how many wet basements they were going to get reported in the next day or two. And it's kind of the wrong time of the year to be talking about that, but Mother Nature is going to dictate what we do. So if you haven't checked your sump pump, or you have a backup sump pump and haven't checked that in a while, by all means, get those checked and make sure they're working. We tend to forget about them this time of year. If you're planning on headed to warmer weather down south somewhere, make sure you got somebody checking on your house. The last thing you want to do is come home to a flooded basement. So, and also check with your insurance agent to make sure you've got the coverage you want on the sump pump failures, because it's a very small amount on the insurance policies unless you bump it up and ask for more coverage. So if you've got a finished basement, you don't want to be surprised in a bad way if your coverage isn't where it needs to be.
And again, generators, another situation.
Yep, exactly. Make sure those are doing their weekly exercise and working properly, and the transfer boxes are working the way they should. And, hopefully we don't need to use those, but again, with the ice we've been having, you never know.
No, you sure don't. Craig, always good to talk. We'll talk to you again. All righty.
Sounds good, Terry. Thank you.
You bet. Craig Voorhees with the Rommel Agency. We'll be right back. Implements are known to drift off the guidance line, even when you use auto steer. Keep your implements centered on the guidance line with Right Path, Ag Leader's passive implement steering solution. Right Path operates seamlessly through Ag Leader's in-command Go displays to increase your operations efficiency throughout the growing season, while minimizing crop damage, yield loss, and operator challenges. Contact PC Ag Solutions, your local ag dealer, today at 989-868-4444. And you might want to mark down January the 26th, because PC Ag Solutions is going to be having an open house, and it will be at their location on North Reese Road. So mark that down on your calendar. January the 26th, it's going to be an open house. We'll have a lot more information on it as we approach the date. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton,